Having learned a lot about PHP and a little introduction about MySQL and databases, we are going to create a little application, more like a form that submits data to a database when you fill in the fields in the form. Okay, so this is how the form is going to look like. Okay, and when you try to submit, we'll use what we've learned so far to tell our form what to do or how to behave. Okay, so for instance, you create the form and you click, you discover that it prompts you with a message telling you to fill in all fields. Okay, so if you fill, let's say you fill only one field and want to submit, it still prompts you to fill in all fields. Okay, so we are going to see how to create this form, and if you fill in all fields perfectly well, let me just fill it roughly. Now let's say you fill in all fields without mistakes and you have an email, and your phone number. Let's just assume a phone number like that, and let's just put in a little biography. I love PHP. Okay, now when you fill in all data completely, when you click on submit, you discover that your form details was successfully submitted, and you can check that in your database, because the form we are going to be creating will be the type of form that sends the data that any user inputs into the database. As you can see, we have what we just created right here into our database. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the steps of creating a form like this, and the requirements and the things you need to know. They are not difficult. It's something we've learned in the previous videos. So if there's any particular area you don't understand, I would advise that you go back to the video where we talked about that particular thing and look at it again. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get straight to it. So we're going to do it from ground up. We're going to do it from scratch. We're going to start with building the HTML form, and from what we have here, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We have seven fields. Okay, but when you look at our database actually have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Our database have 10 fields. So now what we did is that, or what we're going to do is, when we are declaring data types or our columns in our database on the date of birth, what I did for ease was I used a different column for the day of birth, the month of birth, the year of birth. Okay, so if for instance you want to get somebody's date of birth, you can concatenate that using your database and get the date of birth in full. Okay, but I did it like this for simplicity and for better understanding. So let's see how this can be done. Now I'll quickly create a file. Let's begin our form. Okay, so we always start with HTML code for those of you that knows about HTML. So we're going to start with that here. So it's HTML open closing tags, and then we're going to create our head tag. So that should be head. Okay, so in our head tag, we're going to have a title tag, and our title tag, I want to give it the name form, and let's do title close. Okay, now this is pure HTML. We've not done anything with regards to PHP, but you can just follow me. Okay, so let's open or create our body tag. So that's our body tag, and in our body tag we're going to start creating our form. Okay, but before we do that, let's quickly save this form. Now we're going to save it with .php because I want to actually use this same file or this same document as the action of our form. Okay, so I'll save this as okay, I'll quickly create a new folder here. I'll create a new folder and call it let's call it course form. Okay, let's see that as course form. Okay, let's open that and call this form.php. Now let's select the extension. Now we're working with PHP, and we can just save that. Now we have our PHP file, so we are going to first of all create our form, and just like we normally do it, you open your form tag. Yep, and your form closing tag goes in there. Now your opening tag, let's do that with that, and we can just indent that.